Everybody, it's Paul from Screenwriting Scribe. Today, we're going to do something that I've been meaning to do for a little while, and that's just simply how to write a scene with Final Draft 13. So what we're going to do today is basically just do that. I'm just going to pull up Final Draft 13. I'm going to show you how really easy it is to create a scene. We're going to go through a whole page, just walk you through each of the different ways to do it. So like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. We'll see if we can answer them for you. So let's take a look here as I take a look at Final Draft 13 here. So as we're looking at the page right now, so basically this is what we get. We have an untitled screenplay. You can see at the top here. And then basically I'm in the view that we want to be in is page view. I mean, there's a bunch of different views here, but you can just go to view, click script page view. And this is where you're at right now. So to begin a screenplay or a scene, you basically need a slug line. Now, what is a slug line, you might ask? Well, a slug line basically just tells you where you're at. And so generally, you're going to either be as an interior or an exterior. You can have interior, exterior for scenes, but generally, you're just going to say you're inside something or you're outside something. So let's start this by saying we're outside in the country. So we're just going to hit EXT. The nice thing about this is when we first start for scene elements, I hit the letter E, it automatically fills in exterior. So we can just hit, you can click that, gets to exterior, and say, let's say we're at a cemetery. Let's see how good I am with spelling today. And we are there at night. So as you can see, I misspelled cemetery. So simply go there and right click. So we're at cemetery. So this is our slug line. So right now we've created a scene. And that scene is going to start in the exterior cemetery at night. So the next thing we do is we just hit the return key. And then you also see that this has been changed up here as well too. This is an action. Now, if we want to start with a character, we can simply go here and select the character. We can have a character that begins to speak if there's something that you'd like. But we're going to go back to action. So as we look at this, so as we're doing this, we're just going to say, okay, so what type of action or what type of way are we going to set this scene? So again, the slug line tells us where we're at. The next thing we're going to do is, how about we'll just talk about a character walking through the cemetery. And we'll just make it very cliche. It was a dark and stormy night. I didn't say we're going to make this, like I said, very cliche. The wind was howling. Now we're going to introduce a character. We're going to say her name is Sarah. And so the first time that we meet Sarah, the first thing that you'll notice is we need to capitalize her name. So we did that. And again, walking through the cemetery. So basically, so I set up that. So basically, so we've just basically created an action. So we've created a scene so far. Now with this scene, I can either, maybe I just want to go to the next sort of thing right now. Let me just make sure I don't have anybody typing at me right now. So I do not. We'll show. Perfect. All right. So as we go back to, so from here, I can either write, if I want to, if we want to do sort of like a montage, like she's walking through different things. So maybe she starts in a cemetery or she's walking to a store. Next thing we could do is if we want to do something like that, we can simply hit, click that. We can hit either the tab key, which gets us to different things. So again, we can hit that in order to get back to scene heading. Maybe she's outside of a grocery store right now. And it is still night. And then we just hit, again, I'm hitting the enter key. Now, again, since we've already been introduced to Sarah, I don't need to capitalize her. Now, what I should do with Sarah when I first introduce her, I probably should say something about her, but I could also describe her in the second part. And then it's asking me to save. So what I'm going to do is just put test 1 for this, and we can hit save. So it's very important to save your work. One of the nice things about Final Draft is it asks you to save your work from time to time. And so I wholeheartedly recommend that you do that, because especially if you're working on a PC on any version of Final Draft, you'll notice it doesn't always work out the best. So as we talk about Sarah some more here, we can say is a young girl. She looks at the doors of the store. So she's looking at the doors of the store as if she's contemplating whether she's really hungry or not, whether she's going to go in or not. Now, again, right here we could have, let's say, a store So a store employee sees her, and we can now, if we want to say that Sarah sees them and says something, she can basically, what we can do here is I just hit enter. Now I can hit tab. So we get back to character. Now I can type Sarah. And again, it comes in all caps. Now, a couple of things you can write a dialogue. You could put a parenthetical because maybe she is saying this in a state like maybe she's scared. Maybe she's just going to say hi, Hank. And the interesting thing about this is she might say, hi, Hank, how you doing? Or, whatever. But if you want a parenthetical in here, the parenthetical is going to say maybe when you see hi, Hank, you don't know if she's saying it in a particular way. Maybe she's scared. Maybe she needs something, that type of stuff. So that's why you would use a parenthetical. Hey, Team Western Productions. It's good to see you back. Hi, Sandy Reddy as well too. I hope you are enjoying this. Just this a quick tutorial today. I've been meaning to do a lot more of these. So I'm glad you guys came along here for this. And again, we're just sort of breaking down how to do a quick scene with Final Draft 13. If you have any questions about what to do in terms of stuff, just let me know. So basically right here, again, we've just said, hi, Hank. Again, if we hit return, we get back to an action. So again, we can, if we want to change sort of what the scene is again, we can easily do that. Thank you for I love giving content out to folks. And like I said, I have a huge audience in India. I really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys for coming along. So I'm assuming Scryte, again, after Scryte plus put paid features active. Okay, perfect. Yep. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm going to hopefully do this for a whole series of different software out there. So we'll do Final Draft. I'll do Scryte to just walk you through how to do a scene, because each of them all have their little idiosyncrasies and stuff like that. And as you can see from Final Draft, it's pretty easy to do it this particular way. It's I'm planning on writing a hyperlink narrative. Any tips on that? I actually have been looking at some stuff along those lines. Okay, you're using Google Sheets now. Google Sheets Word for now. I do have a video for that if you haven't seen yet, at least for Word. And I think I did one for Google too. For the hyperlink narrative, there's actually, I'll have to go back, go through and see if I can, and I'll respond a little later on, probably with the link. I had been working on hearing stuff about that. So I think, yeah. So in terms of hyperlink, it's really important to sort of know where the story is going to go. And so a lot of times when people start writing, they don't always write. Let me enlarge my screen so that, because I'm off this for right now. When people are doing this, yeah, no worries. So like I said, with hyperlink, you really need to know the story pretty well. You need to know how to link the story together. You need to know which each of the different branching paths are. I think for that, you really need to have a good story Bible, so you know exactly what's going to happen where. And so I think it's important that you really realize that in terms of where you're going to go from point A to point B, in terms of writing a hyperlink narrative. So again, I think it's really important just to be very where you're going to know where the story goes. You know all the branching paths and stuff like that. Team Western Productions, have you tried Writer Solo yet? That's a free software. And or Kitsonarist. Those two are free softwares that have a lot to them in terms of how to be able to use them and stuff like that. So for Kit, which one, Kitsonarist or Writer Solo, or both? Let me know, because I can actually pull up while we're doing this demo today. Yeah, Story Architect is free. And Stark is good. The hard part with Stark is they don't give you a lot of cool stuff. Both? Okay, so let's pull up Kitsonarist right now, and I'll show you what that looks like. So give me just a second, and I can do that. All right, so let's pull up Kitsonarist here. And let's see if I can. I'm going to move this one. Add to stage. Let's see if I can get the right. Let's see here. Stop that screen. Let's see if I can take a look at. All right, let's see if I can find my windows. Okay. All right, so let me. Perfect. Okay, so this is Kitsonarist. It's free. And so what you basically can do from this, we'll create a new project, and we'll just do test 1. We'll create this. And so here you can, the nice thing about Kitsonarist, it really walks you through each of the different things here. I'm going to pull over my screen so I can see you guys as well here. So you can write the script name. You can do a header or footer. It's very customizable. You heard of this one before? Good, good, good. And so like I said, you can go through here. You can do a title page, a log line, synopsis, verses, versions. So this particular one, so this was, let's see. So, okay, so you also suggest any software for writing just a treatment or outline type. Yep, give me 1 second. Let me run through this, Sandeep, and then I will, we'll take a look at your question, see what we can talk about for that. So in terms of the nice thing about Kitsonarist, you can also do characters. Now, it's not as good as Stark is in terms of stuff. But if you just want to look at how the script is done, basically, I just went down to script. And again, I just type in, you know, it's not as fancy as Final Draft. And I keep spelling cemetery wrong. I'm just going to do store. But the nice thing is it has these nice menus that come down too that you can select on. And again, you have your little bar up here. So it acts really much like Final Draft. Again, I can use tab to get through the different things here. And it's fairly easy to use. The one thing about Kitsonarist, again, this is a program that they are not updating anymore. So what's here is what's here. You don't get a lot of different updates. For what you get, though, for free, it works really well. And so I would, if you haven't taken a look at, if you want that free software, take a look at Kitsonarist and give that a try, because I think you'll like that one a little bit more. And like I said, it's really easy to use. So like I said, if we want to go back to Sarah, again, we should copy or make her name. And then she can say Sarah, and then you can do I am scared. So I mean, you can. It's really easy. Again, it's a lot of tabs. So to again, so I'm just hitting hitting return, that gives me an action line. Again, I can go back to a character. It automatically, just like Final Drafts, pulls up the characters that we've been using. So if we have a bunch of different characters, they'll have a bunch of different names that you can pull up. And then you can simply hit dialogue again if you want, or parentheticals. Again, I'm just going through the tab function right now. So again, it's really pretty easy to use. You also do have a card system here. So, and the nice thing, you can see what's on the card system right now. That's that first scene. So every time you have a scene, you can if we had more than one scene, we can move those scenes around, and that'll change on your script as well too. So does this have a good have like limited stuff like right then wrong out of etc. and pay? So with Kitsonaris, so again, it's basically all you really need for a screenwriting program. I mean, it's really actually for free. It's really nice. I mean, they give you a lot of features for free. There's nothing behind a paywall. So if it can't do it, if it can't do anything, it can't do anything. There's no thing you have to pay. I should say, I'll take that back. The only thing you have to pay for is you do have to pay for cloud storage. And so just be mindful of that. You need to, if you want to have cloud storage, otherwise it saves it on your computer. So yeah, so there's no limit on this. You can do as many scripts as you want, as many pages as you want. It's totally free. Kitsonaris is totally free. Again, you can watch some of my videos about that. Okay, so let's take a look at Sandeep's question. So you're just writing a treatment or outline type. I don't want to use Word or Google, and I don't use slug lines in treatments. I generally write 30, 50 pages of treatment. I'm very bad with dialogue, so it helps me at least have my story sorted. So Sandeep, what do you use right now in terms of screenwriting software? Is there anything in particular you use? Let me go up on your questions here and take a look and see if I can see what you used before. What do you use right now? Because then I can sort of tell you. You use Arc Studio. So Arc Studio Pro. Well, I mean, you could write. Let me see if I can pull up Arc Studio Pro real quick. I'm going to quit out of Scenaris real quick. Give me a second here and see if I can pull up Arc Studio Pro. Because I think they just had a new feature. At least somebody's got. Somebody was telling me they have a new feature that you can do some more like plotting and stuff like that. They do have script elements. Let's see. Let me take a look here. They do have a plot board now in Arc Studio Pro. So that might be something. I don't know if you've seen that yet. If you've seen that they do have a new feature called the plot board. So Arc Studio Pro has an integrated digital whiteboard here. I'll pull up so you can see what I'm looking at here. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. It's good with beats and all, but the outline is not page consistent. So my treatments are page consistent with the page count. So let's say a 30-page treatment with 4 minutes per page is a 2-hour movie. Okay. So it's good for beats and all, but the outline is not. So I think that's the hard part when you're writing a treatment. Yeah, take a look, team, and take a look and see what you can find. Take a look at Kitsonaris. Like I said, I think if you want a free software, give that one a try. It's pretty easy. And like I said, I got a couple of videos on my channel that'll help you with it. And if you always have questions, you just put a comment in one of my videos, and I'm happy to let you know try to answer them. Let's take a look. Let me take a look at the plot board real quick. Because have you tried using that, Sandeep? Because I haven't tried this part yet, because this is relatively new to me. The plot board allows you to craft your story structure and then all your beats visible in the same window as your script when you write your scenes. TV writers can also outline an entire season of episodes and obviously convert each episode into its own script file with all the beats included. I'm breaking a single story. So let's take a look and see what the outline view is. So it's right for so the structure works pretty well for you, but it's the treatment. Let me think about it for a couple seconds here. So the treatment is where it sort of breaks down for you. So you're not able to, let me pull up another window because I want to see if I'm making sure I'm under. Let's see here. So I think the thing that you're worried about is that, make sure I can see where I'm at. I think the thing, 6 to 8 acts, and in each act I get like 10 beats. So once I'm able to fill in those, I can comfortably say I have a story. Okay. So the problem you have with your treatment, if I'm understanding your question right, is that you're having a problem with being able to make sure it matches the time length. Is that what you're sort of getting at? Is that you're trying to get the time length to match with the number of pages? So if you have a 40, let's see what you said. So if 30 beats or a 30-page treatment, it's about 4 minutes per page. So it's about a 2-hour movie. So you don't feel like when you write a treatment, the software programs have a consistent sort of page count. Is that sort of, that's sort of what you're getting at? So, okay. So that's sort of what you're getting at. Let me see if I can. So it's basically, in some sense, you're basically making a pitch deck for the movie, I would say. Okay. So let's see. Well, what if I remember with the treatment, because you're doing a treatment, so they want it normally about 5 to 15 pages for treatment. So you're actually writing a little bit more with 30 pages. So I think they actually want you to. Right. So basically, you're looking for a software that's got. So like I said, when you're writing a treatment, you want to write, the treatment shouldn't be as long. Let me get rid of my Arc Studio Pro stuff here. So I think okay. That's good to know. Thank you. Indian movies are different, so we give like 25, 30 pages minimum. Okay, so that's good. So I wonder if Scrite would be better or Studio Vidity would be better for you in terms of, because both of those products are made by creators from India. Scrite is, and I don't know if you've tried that yet, Sandeep, if you've tried Scrite, and if that has been helpful or not in terms of treatments. yeah, I think that might be maybe a better. Let me pull up Scryte real quick. And see what we can find with that. Actually, I have the. Let's see if I can pull. I should just load all my all my stuff in here. So let's see here. Scryte. There we are. Let me take a look on Scryte real quick to see if it does have a treatment feature, because that might be helpful. All right. All right. I think it's. Gotcha. So Stark has a treatment tab. Okay. Well, let me do this. Let me take a look and see what I can find in terms of a treatment type of app or treatment that's better at treatments, and see what I can find for you and see what I can do. So I'll try to make a video within the next week talking about treatments in terms of how to what software is good for that. Because like I said, I got to reload my stuff for Scryte, and then I could take a look a little bit more into Stark and check with that, because I can talk to the developer of Stark, and you can too. I mean, you can write to the guy at Stark. They're really pretty good about that. Just go to their options page and talk to them, and they seem to be really good about saying, "Hey, this is what this works well for us." So, and hyperlink narrative, I'll see what I can do. Because like I said, I just had I've been I have ChatGPT pulling up topics for me in terms of what I can write. I just haven't had a chance to due to some family health stuff going on. But it's pulling me up some stuff, and it had sent me an article about hyperlink narratives. And so there's a couple different platforms that are supposed to be really good for that. So let me take a look into that too. I'll look at treatments, hyperlink narrative. Give me till the end of the week. So that'll be, I hopefully be able to get some of those in. I'll see if I can do one maybe tomorrow too. But yeah, so yeah, I will see what I can do, Sandeep. Yeah, I mean, so the interesting thing about ChatGPT, I've been doing their deep research function. That's been working pretty well. And I actually was going to do a video not too long ago that's going to talk about how good ChatGPT is versus Claude versus Gemini. So I'm going to hopefully do one of those as well too, to do a video about that as well. So that's sort of I'm just going to change my question and answer session. There we go. Perfect. I just want to make sure that I change that. All right. But yeah. So I think it's interesting, just the different AI models and stuff like that. I was going to take a look at those three models and see how they do in terms of working on a screenplay and stuff like that. So, but like I said, I'm hopefully going to do video, just short videos showing you how to just create a scene in each of the softwares, and so that way you can get to see how easy or complicated it is. And like I said, I think with Final Draft, it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of bells and whistles in Final Draft, but it's not too hard to do. So, but well, I think. And does anybody have any other questions, real quick, for me? Because I'm happy to answer any other questions. AI, if you want any AI stuff, I've been really, like I said, working with AI. And any other screenwriting questions. Otherwise, I got Team Western Productions. Is there any other topic you'd like me to sort of work on a video-wise? I knew I do have to do templates for Final Draft. Someone had asked me for that, so that's on my list of stuff to do too. So a lot of it's some sense of little niche type of topics, but yep. Yeah, no, like I said, I think the thing that you're going to find with using AI, I think the best thing to do is have the AI ask you questions. It's great for brainstorming. So I would if you're going to use AI to talk to you about have it prompt you a question. Say, hey, ask me what would make the story better. Yeah, well, I just wanted to make sure. Team Western Productions, I just want to make sure you had all your questions answered. Just like I said, give Kit Scenarios a try, see how you like it. And if it doesn't work, let me know too. We'll keep looking for different stuff. Like I said, Writer Solo is more the hard thing about Writer Solo is it's a good program. You just need to have an account for Writers Duet. I don't know if people like that or not. So I found it helpful. I mean, it's a nice program, and like I said, perfect. But yeah, so like I said, if you're using AI, what I would suggest to use for AI is use it to prompt you to say, hey, how's the story? Am I covering all my bases? Is there any weak parts in the story? And have the AI ask you questions. And that really is good at helping you identify characters, helping you get to your story arcs a little better. It helps tighten stuff up so if you're not missing something within the story at all. So yeah, I would definitely give that a try. So, and like I said, I haven't found any real big difference between Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT in terms of brainstorming right now. Claude, I mean, I think the biggest difference is I've talked to ChatGPT the most. Yeah, Beat's another good one. Well, I think Beat only works on the Mac though, so if you don't have a Mac, it might not work so well. At least I think, if I remember right, Beat works really good. Beat is basically Fountain. It uses Fountain, which is a language that you can use on a lot of different devices in order to create your screenplay. So that's how Beat works. It uses the Fountain language, which is how people. But yeah, it's if you have a Mac, that's a great one to use. I probably should do another 5 free screenwriting softwares and just go, hey, this is how you use each of these 5. Maybe that's one I'll do too. So 5 free screenwriting softwares, and then just show you how to create a scene in each of them. Just show you how easy or hard it is to do stuff. I think those would be all good ideas on how to do that. So, but yeah, any other thoughts? Any other questions? Like I said, other than that, Interior Day. My friend uses Interior Day. Is that a new software program? I don't know if I've heard of that one before. So the interesting thing right now in terms of screenwriting software is right now we're sort of hitting a big renaissance within the screenwriting software community because there are so many different programs out there now. It used to be back when I first started, you had Final Draft and Fade In and Celtics and Screenwriter 2000. I have to do that one too. Somebody wants me to do that from the Wright Brothers. That one's expensive, though. That's $195. But so you used to just have these like 3 or 4, and now we have like 10, 15. A lot of companies are coming into the screenwriting space. Well, it's supposed to grow. It's supposed to be like a $500 million business here in the next 5 years. So we're going to see a lot more software on the horizon. So if you want stuff, make sure you tell the developers, hey, what's going on, and that way they can do that. Okay, I'll take a look at Interior Day and see what else I can find about it. So, but any other thing, otherwise I'm going to sign off. And like I said, thank you guys for coming on today. I just wanted to, it's been a while since I've just been on just to see how people are doing. And hopefully I answered some of your questions. You guys gave me some great video ideas. And hopefully you also learned a little bit about Fade or Final Draft, a little bit just to how to create a scene. That's at the beginning of this. If you want to watch that a little bit more, you can. I'm probably just going to maybe just do even just a short video on that again, just so people can see how to do that. So, well, thank you all for coming on board. I hope you all have a great day. Keep writing, and hopefully my video schedule will start catching up. Like I said, I've had some family medical stuff that's been going on, and that's been sort of throwing me off with doing stuff. Hopefully you've been enjoying the quizzes. I have been getting those out. I think that's been fun to do. If any particular thing, hopefully I'm going to start doing live regularly again. I was able to do that a little bit more, but we'll keep trying. Maybe I'll start doing, would you guys like to do writing sessions so we can all just sit down and write? Maybe that's something I'll do as well too. So it's an idea. So, well, thank you all for joining. And again, have a great, pleasant day, and we'll see you later.